Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have Kamala Harris says that the government should control grocery prices so they could make sure no one's price gouging and it'll help with inflation. Yeah. Believe it or not, I love the fact that she is saying this because everyone, straight from the donkey's mouth, you realize she is a communist. Mentally vacuous, rudimentary, and evil. There's a reason my family escaped Cuba, or my parents, they got the hell out as soon as Fidel took over. They saw the writing on the walls. Look, every country since the dawn of time that has tried that methodology has not only failed miserably, but has resulted in more deaths than any other government mechanism or organization ever. And yet, you have mentally vacuous people in America. I wouldn't consider them Americans when they say communism's never truly been tried. Again, 32-year low ACT scores in public schools. I can't help but think they skip over history altogether. Now, this comes from straight from Kamala Harris's ex-Twitter profile, which, again, U.S. is about 50-50 split, Republican, Democrat, left and right. In theory, this should be about 50% yay Kamala, girl power, that kind of stuff, and 50% saying, no, absolutely not. Now, her words exactly says, quote, when I'm president, should I attempt her? I mean, she changes her accent so many times depending on where she is. I mean, this might be terrible, but I'll try it. When I'm no, I can't. Maybe no time. He says, quote, when I'm president, it will be a day one priority to bring prices down. I'll take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging and corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families, unquote. Yeah. Mentally vacuous completely. Again, for the millionth time, I apologize to the people who, I especially appreciate the people who tune into the show, but this might be a little redundant, but I will emphasize again, because this is one of the biggest talking points in politics right now, is grocery prices. It's extremely controversial because it hits everyone's wallet who isn't on government assistance. It's one of those things where a lot of people are struggling right now. They're blaming the grocery stores for price gouging. They think these grocery stores are evil. They're making so much money. An overwhelming majority of grocery stores are publicly traded entities. You can read their 10K. You can look up their financial data. On average, look up any website, any forum. The industry average for groceries for a profit margin is 2%, also known as nothing. I mean, you can't fathom building a business on 2% profit. It's nearly impossible. It's why these grocery stores are diversifying their portfolios or their offerings. That's why you have Walmart having things like t-shirts. They have things like TVs. They have a lot of other things that are more profitable. They have jewelry at Walmart. Same thing with Target. They have clothing, they have bikes, they have things that are much more profitable than the groceries because the groceries are not a profit builder. They're a staple that people have to buy. And that's one of the reasons why, just look at like startups in the United States, new businesses. When's the last time we've heard of a grocery store really being a new business? Most of them have been around for years. And it's not, people think it's a duopoly. There are many grocery stores. You have a couple like Albertsons who owns a few of them, like Tom Thumb. But again, you also have HEB growing. They seem to be growing exponentially, especially in the great state, or some might argue the great country of Texas. But you do have Target being one of the largest ones. You have Walmart being another one. You have Kroger. And again, these people in politics keep saying these evil grocery stores. The prices are going up because the cost of goods are going up. Their subcontractors, or in this case, their suppliers, are increasing their prices because their prices are all going up because the government caused inflation by people on the left and the right printing more money that's never been printed before. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. When people bring this up in conversation, again, when you're talking about politics, I mean, the goal is to win hearts and minds. You don't want to be confrontational. When they say, these grocery stores are so evil, just ask them, I mean, what do you think what do you think they make on a profit? Because again, some people aren't business nerds. I mean, I don't know more than 2 sports ball players, but I research businesses, partially because I own a business and I sell to businesses and I'm a tech company, I work with them, but it's my passion. Like, I'll just look at all the industries. I'll be fascinated by it. Half the books on my shelf are books about, last year was retail. This year I'm reading a lot of books on automotive founders. But again, maybe the average person thinks it's like Apple. Apple, those products are about 50% profit margins. That's ridiculously good. But again, when it comes to groceries, just ask your friends, like, how much profit do you think they're making? And maybe they think, they think they're tripling their money. They're quadrupling their money. They're making so much. No, they're making about 2% profit. It does add up in the aggregate, very similar to the McDonald's model, where you charge a little amount and adds up over time. But it's a rough business model, and it's very finicky. So I know I went on a little bit of a rant there, but again, it's one of the biggest lies in politics these days, and it is a very important topic because it affects everyone. So it's one of those things where, again, if they bring it up conversation, And also, if those are the same people who want to outlaw gas cars and they think gasoline should be taxed and go after those businesses, guess how your food gets to the grocery stores? Diesel trucks, gasoline, the fossil fuels get it there. But I partially digress. Yeah, if this were to happen, and again, I'm very glad she's saying this out loud so people can see it for themselves. Won't work. Every country's tried this before. It never has. Granted, again, the US is about 50-50 split. Maybe I'm a minority in this assessment. Maybe everyone thinks she's brilliant and this will be a great idea to take over the private sector. I mean, probably not, but we'll go to the comments and find out. Well, the first comment comes from End Wokeness saying they tried this in Venezuela. The result. And yeah, I don't know if this looks, actually might be the very same gentleman. So you have a picture of a gentleman with a little convenience store, like a little, almost like a storage unit kind of size. And it's fully stocked with food, and it looks like he's like a little kiosk, and it's got all food. And then his before and after, and then after he has no stock, and he also looks like he's lost some weight. Never forget Venezuela. The Maduro diet is a thing. They literally, because again, the government took over. It was so bad, people were starving, and they were literally losing so much weight in an unhealthy manner. They were taking screwdrivers and sharp implements and poking new holes in belts because they're losing so much weight. While, of course, their evil dictator was gluttonous and eating more food than anyone else. The Maduro diet. Yeah. Now that got 2. No. Got 21. I thought it was 2.1. Got 21,000 likes. Now that being said, not the best like ratio. Okay, Kamala Harris, I got 6 million views actually now, and 58,000 likes. Mostly mentally vacuous people, or perhaps bots, but got likes nevertheless. Planet of Memes finally did respond in meme form. They were overdue. Now they say, quote, your day was a long time ago. It's an AI generated picture, and it's Kamala Harris holding up a sign, probably some of the first work she's done in a while. And now the sign says, day one for me was January 2021. I helped create this mess. Getting 1.3 thousand likes. Kyle Rugg says, day one was 3.5 years ago. What are you talking about? Getting 7.6 thousand likes. Jeez Louise. Clown World says, how about addressing the inflation caused by your administration first? Empty promises won't cut it. Getting 5.3 thousand likes. Another friendly thing to ask your friends, hey, how did the Inflation Reduction Act pan out for everyone? I mean, if you worked at one of those quote-unquote green energy companies, yeah, you probably got some nice handouts. But for most of us, no, it just caused even more inflation. The irony of politics, whatever they name the bill, and people on the right do this too, like the Patriot Act, whatever it's called, usually the opposite is what it does. Paul Zazupa also says, Kamala Harris has been vice president for 4 years and has managed to bring up prices 20% alone on average. Prices are high because inflation is hot. Harris cast the vote to make that go away. Got 1.8 thousand likes for that. The Quartering says, you've been in office for nearly 4 years. How have you been doing? Also, when will you do a press conference? Getting 596 likes. Well, yeah, press conference would actually require her to answer questions. That's might be above her pay grade. Blair White says day one was 3.5 years ago. Kamala, you're a failure. Getting 24,000 likes. Again, this is the way X Trader works. Is that this is put in order of what is it called? Order of most relevant comments, as well as the people that you follow. And I try to follow a lot of people on the left as well, so that way it's not just an echo chamber. Interestingly enough, those folks are not chiming up the comments yet. Optimist says price increase because the dollar is losing value every time your government runs a deficit and the Fed increases the supply of dollars. Stop blaming others for your failures. Take responsibility for your actions. At 1.3 thousand likes. X Van Fleet, who's a famous individual who escaped communism in China, said, quote, dear Kamila, we want the prices down now. Getting 38 likes. Let's see here. Ooh, Philip Anderson says, day one was 4 years ago, you stupid biatch. I think I pronounced that properly. Got 1.2 thousand likes. Valentina Gomez says, you literally in office right now and the second most powerful person in America. Why don't you do it now? Got 7.7 thousand likes. Got an OG quote from Ronald Reagan. This is posted by I Love American News. Says, whoever wrote this post is clueless of basic economics, which, yeah, I agree with that. Referring to her comment. And Ronald Reagan comment says, quote, we don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well. Great quote. Getting 2.4 thousand likes. He'd be such a perfect... The only thing I don't like about him is he made machine guns nearly impossible to buy because, thanks to him signing off on paperwork, you can't buy a machine gun unless it was manufactured and registered with the U.S. government before 1986. A stain on his record. I got 2.4 thousand likes. Let's see here. Is there any I'm scrolling hard, folks. I haven't seen a single one in support of her. This is kind of funny. Fresh Peach says, day one, and it's a tiger with a microphone in front of sheep. It says, day one I'm elected, I'll become vegetarian. Getting 50 likes. Come on, is there really not a single supportive comment? Folks, I think she's done it. She's got the Chris Christie effect. A fascinating social media phenomenon in which when Chris Christie was running for the Republican nominee, he had 2 instances on social media where he had not a single positive comment. And supposedly Chris Christie does have friends, maybe even family, and allegedly a campaign staff at the time, and yet they couldn't take time to respond to his post on X Twitter. So I think this could be it. Again, there are 22,000 comments on this. I don't think we have time to go down the whole thing. But, we haven't seen a single positive one. We've been scrolling for a couple minutes now. Let's see. Well, this one's a good correlation because who knows? The trajectory we're going is quite concerning. It might become Venezuela. So, Jay says Venezuela timeline. 1992 became the 3rd richest country in the hemisphere. 1997 became the 2nd largest purchaser of the F-150. The third F-150, America's truck. 2001 voted for a socialist president, income inequality. 2004 private health care is completely socialized. 2007 higher education becomes free. 2009 socialist bans private ownership of guns. 2012 Bernie Sanders praises their American dream. 2014 opposition leadership are imprisoned. 2016 food healthcare shortages become widespread. 2017 the Constitution and elections are suspended. 2019 unarmed citizens massacred by the government. It only took one generation of progressive leadership to plunge this country into civil war. Getting 15, let's make it 16 likes. For a second, when it comes to banning and imprisoning your political opposition, for a second I thought they were talking about the Ukraine, but no, they were talking about Venezuela. So yeah, one of Kamala Harris's most leftist radical policies. Again, a lot of my friends. Again, I have friends on the left, on the right, and a lot of my traditional Democrat friends. They're starting to realize she's not a true Democrat. I forget what it was. It's a prince. Some famous couple had an interview where the husband chimed in when she was being interviewed. He chimed in the room. He said, "Be honest." And someone did the meme out that it says Kamala Harris says, "I want equity." He says, "Be honest," and she goes, "I want equal outcomes." He says, "Be honest." She goes, "I want communism." He goes, "Thank you." Getting 9 likes. So Kamala's most radical policy. Maybe some people will like it. Be quite concerning if they do, because communism has never ever worked. Then again, there are people in America calling for communism, but what are your thoughts? Do you think this will gain her more votes? Do you think more people in the middle, more libertarians, more people will start to wake up to what she really stands for? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.